This to the Prime Minister. Before the last election, Prime Minister, you promised that Australian families would be better off. And the Prime Minister promised a $275 cut on 97 occasions before the election.
Now, don't you think, Peter Dutton, that everyone knows that he failed? It's all over the news that he failed. So at question time, you don't need to tell Albanese that he failed. You know what you need to tell Albanese? You need to tell Albanese, I'm not going to repeat again. We know about your failures. I'm not going to run around and tell you about your failure. You probably want me to do that and get stuck on repeating. And I'm going to move on and tell you what else we can do. Right? What other things have failed. But instead, all we hear is the same fight over and over and over again. You know what I think they're pros at? They're pros at repeating. They're pros at fighting over the same things over and over again. And they don't even, not one side can stop it. Right? And so the other side go, oh, well, we'll just keep on repeating that. We'll keep on doing this. It's a little bit like a delay. Right? And you're allowing that delay, Peter Dutton. Right? Don't allow them to delay you. Move on.
Instead, they've gone up by $1,300.
I'll start to say, you're shaming me by making me look like you. And I'm not going to do that. What are you going to do, Peter Dutton?
We've had the largest fall in living standards in history. Our country is divided. 29,000 small businesses have gone broke. And this Prime Minister's record adds up to nothing. How can struggling Australian families and businesses possibly afford another 3 years of the Albanese government?
Now here comes the pro to speak the same shit. I've heard this several times this year. Right? So why say such a thing if you're going to get the same outcome? Here it comes.
Order, members, on my right. The Prime Minister has the call. I thank thee.
This guy's in such his own reality that he can't even go on the TV and news crew and debunk some of these things. Right? He believes he can keep trucking on what he does. You need to show him something else. He's like a Steve-O. You can't tell him he's doing wrong. So you just tell other people and allow other people, Peter Dutton, to tell him he's in a fantasy land.
And he speaks about division, the great divider of Australian politics. The great divider of Australian politics.
You know what he's about to do now, Peter Dutton? He's about to hack at what people don't like about you. Right? So what you do is you either fix the problem where he's hacking at you and leave it at that, or you stop allowing him to do that by moving on to something else and stop talking about it yourself and go, well, I've moved on. Everyone knows about that, just like they know about you and your bloody bullshit every time we come to question time. You know what I mean? Of course, they never add in any swear words with your question time, right? But a lot of these things could be sorted before it. And they have been. And then when he comes and repeats, well, he's just showing what he is, isn't he?
The party room this morning, he spoke about the division in their ranks behind him was what he was worried about. He was worried about undermining from...
And trust me, I wouldn't want such a job. But if it's the only way to fix things so we can have other jobs, then I guess we work hard for 4 years so we can move on to the life we want. You know what I mean? But we can't have a life we want when we have jokesters running around screwing it in the background.
Those opposite picking on Angus Taylor, picking on the Senator. And no wonder those opposite would ask a question on Insiders or on the other Sunday programs cannot say anything about what their policies are, what the costings are, what their alternative is as they go forward. Mr. Speaker, tonight...
So the best way to get rid of people saying that you haven't got a plan is to make a goddamn plan. Now, how long have you had to make a plan? How big is your team? Is your team anything like Centrelink's progress? I hope not.
We will hand down a budget that confirms the fact that inflation is going down. We inherited an inflation rate that had a 6 in front of it.
So how does inflation go down, Albanese? You're all over the news. Do you watch the news? I guess you're so much having selfies and parties that you don't really see. I guess you believe that the news is just all fake news. Right? I guess if it was real, it wouldn't matter because you just believe you can make it fake.
Going up, it's now at 2.4, it's going down. We inherited wages, low wages being a key feature of the economic architecture, and now wages have gone up 5 quarters in a row.
Wages went up because you forced bosses to pay more because of your fuck up. Wages went up. Wages didn't go up because they had plenty of work and the employee can get paid more, right, from the employer. But no, the wages gone up because the government passed the buck. That is it. And then you speak like that?
Inherited legislative tax cuts that were aimed at all of us in this room, not the people we represent. And we changed it so every Australian got a taxpayer.
So why small businesses are struggling now? The government turned around and said, well, we're going to help you struggling by making you pay more to your people because inflation is high. Makes no sense. It makes no sense to me.
If they're struggling, how are they going to have the extra money to play in?
To pay. But that's how they've made a policy where the standard had to go higher. They forced to pay. So that doesn't fix the problem, does it, Pete? They pass the buck. Just like with their credit card.
And those opposites said we should go to election last year as a result. And what we have done...
These leaders remind me that they don't take any responsibility of their leading, and when they fuck up, it's your fault.
See more tonight is provide cost of living relief because we understand that Australians have been under pressure from global inflation.
So, to give out relief, right, is to fix things. When you give out money, how does that fix it when that money has got to do with raising inflation? It's a debt, right? Makes it harder. Doesn't fix anything. They hope that they chuck some money out that you fix yourselves. But if you don't, they're going to go, and chuck some more money out because they always pass the buck, don't they?
So that is why we have provided a range of cost of living measures.
They remind me of certain businesses that always say that you're failing the contract and we want more and you're not doing enough, and yet they're failing their contract. Pretty hypocritical, isn't it? You wouldn't see them failing their contract and leave you alone because they're just as bad as you. No, they're so cocky, these businesses, and got so many loopholes and so much not for you and to fuck you up the ass, right, that they'll ignore all that and just tell you what you did. Shocking, isn't it?
By those.
And yet you do some moves because of what they do, but they'll try to get that not seen like a Steve-O and just tell you what you did and make you feel bad. Shocking, isn't it?
We, of course, have had 2 rounds, and then we announced on Sunday that in the budget...
A little bit like when I was at court with a housing lady, and they accused me of having a syringe and all sorts of things, right? And then when I showed the evidence and they had no evidence and tried to speak to them, they got upset and tried to make me look like the bad guy. I'm getting sick of these clowns, aren't you, people?
There'll be a 3rd round of energy relief.
Got upset, right? Like a little child got caught. You know what I mean? And then they try to make it out that you shouldn't have yelled at them. You know what I said to them? they deserve it. And I'll say it again. Just like they say to us when they did things to us, that we deserved it. But then when you try to get something back, or they know that they did something wrong, they cry like a little baby and make you feel like shit. After they made you cry because they had no feelings and you had some. How's that? So it's two different types of way of crying, isn't it? One's legit and getting hurt, and then the other bully cries because it got caught pretty much. Didn't feel nice.
And they have the right to talk about gas reservation from time to time. Well,
Anyway,
part of
that's a
the
story I'll be
gas
explaining
ban-
into the future, because it has to be so I can heal. Because in that story, they went around speaking to others that I was something else. And I don't like things like that. So when I leave, I'll be fixing what this place believes I am. And I'll show the world the truth.
Oh, was about reservation.
You can't fix yourself in a corrupted area. You
Was
can't.
about making sure that
They
the
just make it
manufacturing
worse.
sector could have access to that gas, but they've just discovered it.
And then
as
this
well.
person that wants me to have feelings for them, leave the problem around. You know what I mean? So they cause all this problem. You attack back at them. They feel bad. Then they still do nothing. They get their area still does nothing. They're waiting for another one to feel bad. Pretty shocking, eh?
They oppose the cheaper medicines policy that we've put in place.
And they'll feel bad when they get a lawyer rocking up going, how dare you ignore people's health?
Every other measure, including
I don't care if he's paying no rent, no nothing. I don't care that he's abused you. How dare you done this to my client? And it's coming to these people.
They oppose free tape and said people don't value it because it's
How dare you want feelings, my client want feelings to your problems when you have no feelings to theirs? How dare you?
every single measure that has been put forward, they have opposed because they don't know what they're for, they only know what they're against. And what they have is secret cuts that they want to implement after the election.
Anyway, time is completed. We'll leave it there. And see you later.